Well, hello there. This is Jan Copeland, sales strategist and head real estate coach over in the Livy Girl Success Boutique. And today, welcome to the Livy Girl podcast and Livy Girl TV. I am so excited to be interviewing none other than Tracy Tutor, the top agent woman on $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. Hi, Tracy. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are very excited to have you join us. And as I shared with you, Tracy, we are doing these brief podcasts so that we can kind of showcase you, one of our VIP guests, as well as our featured speakers. So one of the things that I wanted to just chat about real quick was that you're a single mom.
Yes.
And when we had initially talked, I told you that I had been a single mom for many years before I remarried, and I had a daughter. I believe you have two daughters, correct?
I do, 13 and 10.
The life of the apple of your eye. And so, and when I look at your Instagram, you have a lot of fun and you're successful. So maybe can you just tell us, how are you balancing things as a single mom with
much better now that I'm single? I'm kidding. No, the truth is, I think it's all about scheduling. For me, like I break things down into groups in my calendar. I make sure that every single thing that's going on with my kids is calendared. I'm lucky enough to have a really great nanny that helps me, while I'm working, so that I just don't fall behind, because I think the time that I spend with my kids is important time, and I don't want to spend it, having to be worrying about, silly errands, or, I want to spend like good quality time with them when I can take them out to dinner and do things with them versus, shopping for tennis shoes or things of that nature. So she helps me a lot with that stuff, so that when the kids get home and they're finished with their homework, that we can spend great time together. But I think all in all, the most important thing for me is everything that I do is managed, and the time management is crucial for me to be successful.
Absolutely. And so how often do you film for the show?
This year for season 11, we filmed all 12 months. So normally, like a typical reality show will film anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks max usually. So, but, we're following real estate, and as you guys all know, it's not something that always sells in 6 weeks, unfortunately. So we're following stories that sometimes last 10 months, sometimes even longer, and sometimes just don't even close. So I would say on average, I add about 12 hours a week of filming, 10 to 12 hours a week on top of my regular job.
That's fantastic. That's what I mean by how do you juggle it all? That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I think that a lot of all women real estate agents, I think, admire you, because you're one of the only, you are the only lady besides the other team members on your team who are on the show. And so, anyway, we'll get to that in a minute, but tell me, why real estate? What made you get into become an agent?
To be honest with you, I sort of fell into it. I was studying theater in college and wanted to act. And, post USC theater school, I thought, I was working really hard. I kind of was taking side jobs because I thought, starving actress, gotta hustle. And so I was doing whatever I had to do. I was waiting tables. I even worked in my dad's office for a year and a half or 2 years. And during that time, a girlfriend of mine who is now a very successful actress by the name of Sasha Alexander, who I went to SC with, said to me, she had gotten a huge pilot and it was doing really, really well. And she had called me from set one day, and I'm like, God, like, you're living the dream, you're doing it. And she was like, I am. And I said, isn't it amazing? And she's like, I mean, it's okay. And I was like, what do you mean it's okay? But like, the truth was, if you still struggle. And I think that in that moment, I sort of realized I wanted to make money, and I wanted to be independent from my family, from just everybody, and be able to just earn my right to make choices unilaterally in my life so that I could control my own destiny.
Yeah.
a friend of mine had said, what if we like get into real estate? I mean, you grew up in Los Angeles, Tracy, you know people, you're connected, like this could be a really good opportunity for you. So that's how I ended up going to interview at Sotheby's, and I got my first position as a real estate agent.
And so you never ended up doing anything in terms of for your acting career?
I did. I mean, listen, I was in a singing group. I mean, you name it, I hustled. I did it. I did a couple of low budget films. I was on stage in at USC quite a bit, but I think ultimately I just realized that, you know, no matter how much I loved acting, it really wasn't something that was in my control. And in case you didn't notice, I'm a bit of a control freak.
I love it. I love that you said that you wanted to make money and be independent because, you know, as a real estate coach, most of my clients say, I quit my job because I wanted independence and I wanted freedom of schedule and to be in control of my destiny. So it's pretty cool that that's exactly why you got into it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think the interesting part about that is, you know, a lot of people that, you know, maybe quit a more corporate environment job and, you know, turn to real estate for the flexibility of time. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize you're going to work just as many hours, if not more.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit of a falsity, but you know, the truth is, yes, you can work around scheduling and it can be more flexible, but it does not mean you're going to work any less hard. It's just going to be, you know, a little bit more on your own terms, just being your own boss.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get successful working less. So are you a songbird? So you have a voice?
I wouldn't say that. I was in a singing group in high school. And yeah, I mean, I thought I was really great. I mean, I thought I was going to win a Grammy, you name it. I mean, I was very confident apparently, but you know, I will say I was probably more the rapper of the, my group. And, you know, you know, once I got to college and started studying theater, you know, the music group sort of tapered off. So in fairness, I don't want to like hurt anyone's ears. Those days are over.
Okay. Talk to me about your team, because you have a team and I believe they're all women. Is that right?
No, I do. I have one gentleman on my team. His name's Rob. He's a hustler, you know, relatively new to the business, maybe three and a half years in. And, you know, is just really, really talented, young, aggressive real estate agent. I also have a director of operations who I brought on, who is fairly new to the business, but a really hard worker. Her name is Eleanor. And she manages myself and my partner, Gina, who I brought on to work with me last year as pretty much an equal partner because I can't be in 25 places at once. And I needed someone with a level of expertise that was at my level to be able to manage the clients, particularly my long-term clients that needed my personal attention. So that last year was a really big transition year for me because between the show, my regular single family business, and working on my first major new development in Los Angeles that commanded a lot of my time, I was spread really thin and I needed someone that I could trust. And Gina, you know, has been really great for me. And then obviously there's Erica, who you guys have seen on the show a little bit, who started as my director of operations and assistant and is now morphed into a buyer's agent on the team. So I have two buyer's agents, Rob and Erica, Gina, my partner, and Eleanor.
Awesome. And Gina is actually going to be joining you. She's coming to the conference and she'll be a part of the Powerhouse panel of speakers. So I'll definitely have to get her on the podcast as well. And so, talk to me about, real quickly, because I know time is short, when I would deal with some men in my market when I was an agent, I don't know if they were as rude or abrupt as your co-star, but I mean, you know, you had to really get in there and hustle it up. And I'm 5'11", so it's not like, I don't know how tall you are, but sometimes that would help, you know, when they were trying to bully me or whatever. But I'm just wondering, you know, because it kind of seems like you and Josh Altman are kind of like buddies on this season, which I didn't see before. I didn't catch that before. So are they really, is that like an act, or are they really that crazy and cutthroat?
You know, I mean, it's pretty authentic. I got to tell you, the guys don't get, few of them definitely do not get along. And, there's been some drama on the show that you've seen already this season and certainly last season. I don't really have issues with anybody on the show. And I haven't. So to
Be
date.
the example. Yeah. So you're the example. I liked how you walked away last week. You just walked away from that party. You're like, I'm done.
I mean, and by the way, you should have seen the unedited version. I mean, they toned it way down for air. It was wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So what's next for you? I like how you shared with us.
The new development thing has been really great. I think it's been when you've been doing this as long as I have, and 19 years is a long time. I think that the creativity of being a part of a new development and consulting on that is something that I want to pursue a little bit further. I'm working with the Four Seasons and the Amman on a private development in Cabo, on the East Cape, which I'm really excited about. And that's going to be private residence both at the Four Seasons and private residences at Costa Palma. So I will be an ambassador for them.
Awesome.
And I'm also, spreading my wings even a little bit further. And I am the ambassador to the Royal Atlantis in Dubai, which is a very, very significant project with an architect out of New York called KPF. And the people involved in that project as well are really, really wonderful. So that's been exciting for me because I've sort of taken it international this year. And I just think it's fun to work on something that's a little bit new and refreshing for me, and getting out of Los Angeles and traveling for work a little bit more. And that's what's on the horizon, and hopefully another season of $1 Million Listing.
That's great. That's great. And then my last question, you're going to be introducing Dottie. And yes. Dottie Herman is the CEO of Douglas Elliman, your brokerage. So I do know from talking to her assistant that she has a shoe fetish. She has so many pairs of shoes, and she just loves every pair of shoes she can find. But tell the listeners and the viewers, what is one thing that's intriguing about Dottie so that they can get even more excited to hear her present the keynote?
Well, I will tell you this, and I'll probably retell this story, but she is one of the main reasons I came to Douglas Elliman. And she came to my house one day when I was thinking about coming over. And, I had been at several different firms over the course of my 19 years, mostly dominated by men. And I had an opportunity to sit down with her at my house. And we had a vodka soda together.
How awesome is that?
And we just talked about it. And you know what? She saw things for me, just sitting with me for an hour, hour and a half, like whatever it was. She saw things in me that I kind of knew deep down, but the fact that she sat across from me for 1 hour and already knew that about me, I just knew she understood me. And that was it for me. I was like, I want to work at a company where I'm understood and where I'm valued and where there's women present. And not only did I have Dottie at the forefront and at the helm, but I also had Susan DeFranca, who was running new development and she had come from Related and had moved over to Douglas Elliman to run our new development sector. So to have just two powerhouse females at the front of the company next to Howard Lorber was, something very difficult not to turn down. But I will tell you, when you hear her personal story, and I'm sure she will share it, it is one of the most fascinating coming of age stories, and just how she got into real estate it's very inspirational. So I am crazy about her, and I'm so excited to be introducing her.
Me too. I'm so excited that you are going to be introducing her. And just in the little bit that I have spoken with her, and my twin sister has spoken with her more, she just is real. She's down to earth, and yet she is an icon in the industry, and someone that every real estate woman should look up to. And I just can't wait to hear from her.
Yeah, she's a broker's broker. I mean, that's the truth. Like, she's helped run that company for a very long time, but like the most important thing to her is taking care of the brokers, and that's really what it should be about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Tracy, I see your little sweetie right there. Hello.
Follow you guys.
That's Juliet and Jake.
Hi there. Nice to see you. Oh, here comes the other one.
Yep, Scarlett, coming home from school.
Well, I will let you get back to your beautiful girls. Tracy, thank you so much, and we look forward to meeting you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody there. It's going to be a blast.
Yay. Yay. All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Tracy. Bye-bye.